Today I fucked up by setting one of my girlfriend's nudes as our laptop background. I'm a prankster, I'll admit it. I love to prank my girlfriend and it's a bit of a fun thing between us. None of my pranks are malicious, they mainly cause minor annoyance and then laughter. My girlfriend is quite conservative, and though she's open to taking photos and videos in the bedroom, she gets red-faced if I show her the photos afterwards. One of my pranks is to say, hey, look at this cute cat picture, then show her one of her photos. She gets embarrassed and then we laugh. Anyway, here comes the FU. I decide to prank her by setting our laptop wallpaper as one of our intimate photos, then switch the laptop off. Later on, when we want to watch a movie in bed, I'm in the kitchen dishing up dinner and I call to her, love, turn the laptop on in the meantime and get the movie going. I snicker to myself as I wait for the inevitable WTF from the bedroom. Nothing. I cautiously peek my head around the bedroom door. Everything okay? The laptop won't switch on. What? The laptop refused to turn on. My girlfriend sighs and casually says, I guess I'll just take into the IT store tomorrow and let them check it out. Instant panic. No, you can't do that, I say to her. Why not? Because why? I had to tell her. Being the way she is, you can imagine how absolutely and utterly mortified she would be if the IT guy had to switch on the laptop and see her in all her unclothed glory on the desktop. I wasn't too keen on them seeing her naked either. She was understandably extremely annoyed and I felt like a complete idiot. We sat wondering what on earth we could do about this broken laptop that didn't involve us handing it in to another person. I suggested we go and just explain to them and ask them to please not go to the desktop. My girlfriend was adamant even that would be too embarrassing for her to bear because they would just know why, and would likely go to the desktop simply out of curiosity anyway. We started googling and trying everything to get the laptop to start up. She got on the phone with some tech-savvy friends, and eventually after some tinkering we managed to get it to switch on long enough to change the wallpaper. Turns out the battery and charger port had died, so now it would only work if the charger was plugged in a very specific way. However, that was the least of our worries, and after the picture had been successfully erased we sent it in for repairs. My girlfriend has not let me forget this though, and I must admit after this I have toned down my pranks considerably. We still laugh about it though. Too long didn't read. Set our laptop background to one of my girlfriend's nudes as a prank. Laptop decided to stop working. Instant panic as we realize we'd have to go hand it in for repairs and potentially have an IT guy seeing the photo. Until about 90% of the way through the story, I was sure she had seen it and was messing with you. What does your conservative GF think of your Reddit username? Exclamation mark. I don't know why this made me laugh more than the post. Did not expect to scroll up to see improved pig fucker. IT guy here. It's not rare to see customer homemade content by accident. You'll quickly stop caring about it after entering this industry. You will be surprised how often this happens in the IT repair world. I sometimes work at my buddy's IT store, and there is so much NSFW stuff on people's desktops. Some people just don't care, and the charging port problem is also very common. I've repaired a lot of those. Too much pranky will get you no hanky-panky. Today I fucked up by playing porn at full volume at a restaurant in front of my mother-in-law. This happened yesterday. My mother-in-law took my wife and I out for a meal yesterday to a restaurant that we frequent. As we were waiting for our main meals to arrive, my wife and Mill were talking about something unrelated to me, so I got my phone out and decided to take a look at the front page of Reddit. As I was scrolling, a post from /r/unexpected caught my eye. I clicked on it, completely missing the NSFW tag. The post started out as an adult putting a kid in what looked at the time like a coffin, but turned out to be a soundproof box. Apparently this was a clip from a TV show, so that sort of explains what happens next, but not really, because what the actual fuck. Suddenly, there are 8 people having an orgy in the video, in the same room as the coffin box. My natural instinct is to immediately turn down the sound, which ironically activates the sound at full volume, and this almighty classic porn moan emanates from my phone. My fingers flail around as I try and stop this situation in front of a half-full restaurant, and my mill closed the video and didn't move for a good 2 minutes, hoping that if I sit still enough, I can just disappear into the ether. My wife shot me a look and I didn't make eye contact with my mill for a good 5 minutes. Here's the crazy part. I fucking got away with it. When my mill got up to go to the toilet, I told my wife what happened and she had no idea. She just thought I played some loud video and was annoyed at that. Not sure if my mill noticed or not, but I'll take questions. I'm not going to ever ask for 500. So yeah, my wife said it's never ever going to get lived down, and I don't blame her either. Too long didn't read. Conversation got boring, so I whipped out my phone and put on some good old porn. I really wanna see the original post you pulled up on your phone, LMFAO. Wow, I literally watched this episode of Nathan For You like 2 days ago, ha ha ha. It's literally still all over the front page from everyone posting it yesterday. The idea of accidentally playing, like, a podcast out loud in public already gives me anxiety. This would just kill me. And the dismembered remains were covered in shit. The fact that I actually saw that post yesterday makes this 10x better. Same video, different situations. Just so you know, the show is Nathan For You and it's fucking great. Even in the episodes where no one is fucking. Today I fucked up by sleeping with my boss's son. I had been working at this warehouse for a little over a couple of months. Generally, I have no interest in work relationships. I should say that I had no interest. That was until I laid my eyes on him. He was the most today I fucked up man I've ever seen in my life. He was 6'5", tattooed, and was in training to be an amateur boxer, so you can only imagine what physical shape he was in. Anyways, I decided to leave my number on his desk. We were always making eye contact, and I felt that the attraction was mutual. No surprise, I got a text after work. We exchanged conversations for a little while, and then he asked me to go on a date. I was pretty excited at this time, not realizing what was about to follow, so I said yes. We arranged to meet at this restaurant to have dinner over the weekend. I realized how looks can be deceiving. He was very nice, but honestly was as dumb a box of rocks, very much into himself, and had terrible hygiene. Go figure. I thought I'd give him the benefit of the doubt. He seemed like a genuine person over text message, so I was curious as to who this person was in front of me. It was about 10 p.m. when we finished, and then we decided to go to his house to watch a movie. I should say mansion. They were obviously filthy rich, and had no problem showing that. I knew that his dad wasn't home, because he was having an affair with the HR lady at work. But what I didn't know was that his mother was there. We go upstairs to his man cave, started watching movies. I knew was getting to be late. It was 4 a.m. when I checked the time, and I wasn't planning on staying there. To both of our surprises, when we walked outside, the ground was covered in about 2 to 3 foot of snow. Mind you, it was 4 a.m., and plows tend to wait until the snow is done falling before going out. No biggie. I'm pretty used to driving in snow, since I've only lived in Illinois practically my whole life. Well, I must have had very poor judgment, because as soon as I tried to back out of the driveway, my tires began to spin and I was sure there was no way I was going to be able to make it home. I started to panic, because like I said, I had no intentions of staying the night, but at this point, I really had no other choice other than to sleep in my car. So, I called him right away and asked to stay until the plows began to come out. Didn't say anything about there being a problem, so I went back inside. This is where things really took a turn for the absolute worst. I was wearing skinny jeans, and as some of you may know, sleeping in jeans is one of the most uncomfortable feelings, so I take them off. We laid next to each other for a couple of minutes, until out of nowhere, I hear these heavy footsteps walking up the stairs, followed by loud banging on his bedroom door. If you remember from the beginning, I didn't think anybody else was home. He shoots up, flips the light switch, and his mother practically busts the door wide open. Immediately starts screaming how they have a policy that they don't allow females to stay the night. He was 24. I'm shaking at this point while he's explaining the situation of my car being stuck in the snow. She shows no signs of any remorse remorse whatsoever, practically tells me to get the fuck out, and says she's not leaving until I get up. Here I am, no pants on. I thought she would at least leave the room to allow me to put them back on, but I was wrong. I frantically shot out of bed and put my pants back on, while she's standing in the doorway, saying I'm sleazy and can't believe I would try such a thing on the first date. I couldn't get out of there fast enough. He didn't even bother to walk me to my car, or apologize for his lunatic mother. I sat in my car for a few moments to collect my thoughts on what the hell just happened before attempting to head home. It was about 5 AM, and thankfully I could see plows clearing off main roads, but his subdivision remained untouched. I was still stuck in the driveway, but I was pretty determined to get the fuck out of there. 20 minutes later, I was able to get out of the driveway after going forward and reverse multiple times to make traction. I knew they could hear me struggling out there. Finally, I'm able to get to a plowed road. Normally would take me a half hour to get home, but because of the terrible road conditions, I didn't get home for another hour or so. I wanted to forget what had happened that night and I thought things would have ended there. But I was wrong. Yet again. The following week, I was pulled into the office by the owner of the company, which is his father, to discuss my raise of pay. No biggie. I didn't think he knew anything of the situation since he wasn't home the night of. We discuss work, my raise, and then he says this, which I remember very clearly. Let's take the hat off of work for a second. I'd like to apologize to you for what happened the other night, and I completely lose all color in my face. I explained to him how I had absolutely no intention on staying the night, and what had happened. He apologized for his lunatic of a wife, referring to her as a bull in a china shop, and said I should have never had to have drive home in those conditions. I was so embarrassed, and never wanted to in that position again, so I quickly cut things off then and there. Regardless of what had happened, he was still very much infatuated with me. He'd leave me flowers, candy, and love letters on my desk at work. He even tried to mess with another co-worker to try and make me jealous. I wasn't falling for that shit. Nope. I'll pass on being a part of that circus. I ended up leaving that job for other reasons, but the following months, I kept receiving love letters and roses in the mail. I think he did genuinely like me, and as much as I wanted to look past his flaws, I could not look past his crazy lunatic mother. Letter I received. Edit, I wasn't really expecting for my first post to blow up like this, but I would like to say thank you. Yes, I really did experience this eventful story. I did not include every detail, considering the length, but tried to condense as much as I could. I have plenty of more crazy stories from my 2 years of employment there. Too long didn't read, went on a date that went downhill, got confronted and kicked out by his lunatic mother. Can you please explain the letter? I was expecting a love missive, not DB's fan art. That is wild. I wish I could. I'm not a DB's fan either. I received this on my 28th birthday, about 4 months after I had quit. We had zero contact. Was completely random. I interpret sleeping with as having had sex, but no sex, right? Given the circumstances seems innocent enough. Just a crazy family. No sex. We slept next to each other. I'm very aware that sex is more of emotion thing, and energy can be transferred. I didn't need the crazy energy in or around any hole.